Good morning, children. Today, in Social Science Civics Electoral Politics, we will take up how the elections are carried out in our country. Now, for all this entire process is conducted, controlled and supervised by Election Commission, which is an independent body. That means there is no interference in their work. The entire process, how it is carried out, how it is controlled, how the supervision is maintained throughout is all the work of this independent body, which we call as the Election Commission. Now, first of all, what are the things that are required when elections are held? The most important thing, one of the most important things rather, is a voters list. In common words, in common language, if we say a voters list, which otherwise is known as electoral roll. Now, what is this electoral roll? That means all those people who are eligible voters. That means that all those people who are 18 and above, a list is prepared, and this is also updated from before the elections, so that there may be some changes that are made. So this is what is important, is electoral roll, and this is prepared to include all the names of those who are 18 and above, so that when the election is held, they are able to go and cast their vote, they are able to go and give their vote. Now, this voting is based on what we consider to be the right of all the citizens. We talk about universal adult franchise. We've talked about this earlier. Now, what is universal adult franchise? That is that all citizens who are 18 and above, boy or a girl, all have the right to vote, no matter which caste they belong to, no matter which religion they follow, or which gender, that means whichever sex, girl or boy. Everybody has this right of, if you have attained the age of 18 and you're registered as a voter, you will have the right to vote. Now, another important thing is that there has to be a revision of this list. Now, why it is necessary to have a revision of this list, of this voters list that we are talking about? Because as time goes by, because we have elections after 5 years, so as people who were lesser than 18 now, if they have attained 18 in age in the last 5 years, or have now recently, so obviously that makes them eligible to vote. So, therefore, these children or these citizens who have attained the age of 18, their name can be included in that list. And secondly, another important thing is that sometimes people have transferable job, or people move out from one place to another place. So, obviously, their name will be deleted, their name will be excluded from that list. Or sometimes a person may have passed away. That means people who are dead, or people who have passed away, so their names also will have to be deleted. So that is why it is necessary to revise. So prior to, much before the elections are to be held, this list is revised, for the simple reason that those who have attained 18 years of age, their name can be included. And secondly, those people who have moved away from there, or those people who have passed away, their name can be excluded or deleted from that list also. So it is necessary to revise and update the voters list, so that on that particular day when the election is to be held, there is no difficulty at all. Now, what are the other requirements for voting? Uh, Now, there has what we call as the election photo identity card. It has a photo, a photograph of the voter and all other details, and this has been introduced, and it is now made compulsory also. When you go for voting, you need to carry this election photo ID, or election photo identity card. Sometimes a ration card may also be shown, or your driving license or passport or Aadhaar card can be shown. Why this is necessary? To show as your proof of identity. That means you are the person that you claim to be. So that is why this election photo identity card has become compulsory now. Now, the next important thing that we talk about is the nomination of candidates. That means who are the people who will be contesting in the elections. Now, anyone who is a voter, obviously who are 18 and above, can become a candidate, but there is a difference between a voter and a candidate. What is the difference now? That is that for a voter, the minimum age is 18 years. Whereas for a candidate, the minimum age is 25 years. So that is a difference, that for a voter, the minimum age has been decided as 18 years. Whereas in order to be a candidate to contest in the election, 25 years is the age that has been specified. There are certain times restrictions on criminals also. Somebody who has a criminal record, there may be restrictions on that as well. So when we have these different political parties, obviously these candidates belong to different political parties, they nominate candidates. And when they nominate candidates, the symbol is what they all have, and the party support is also there. Or in other words, you can say that they get a party ticket, that yes, they are candidates representing a certain specific political party. Now, we move on ahead. When we are talking about nomination, right? When we are talking about nomination, there are certain formalities that have to be fulfilled. Now, what are these formalities? That a form has to be filled. That is, a nomination form has to be filled where all your details have to be provided. And along with that, a security deposit. That is, a security deposit, that means that a certain amount of money as a deposit has to be submitted along with the form. That is compulsory for all the candidates. Now, at the same time, there is certain legal declaration every candidate has to provide. Now, what are these? Number one, education qualifications. Whatever the education qualification of the candidate is, that will be detailed, that will be forwarded. Then his details of assets and liabilities, that is like his bank balance and property and all that. So all that, or maybe his liabilities or loan, whatever. So his financial status, in other words, has to be provided. And thirdly, if there are any serious criminal cases pending against him, against the candidate, that also will be mentioned. So when the nomination form is filled, these details have to be provided so that it is known to the people. What is the importance of this detail? That the information has to be made public so that the voters can consider the candidate and accordingly decide in his favor, or whichever candidate the voter feels will be the best person. So that is why it is necessary that this information has to be made public as well. Now, coming to the educational qualifications. As such, we don't have educational qualifications for candidates for becoming MP, that is Member of Parliament or Member of Legislative Assembly. But yes, he should, what are the qualities that he should possess is that the ability to understand problems of the people, to understand the people's concerns and try and resolve their issues. That is what is required. That is what is necessary as such. Now, why this is so? Because if a certain education qualification is specified, then it would mean that it would go against the spirit of democracy. That is, if this was made compulsory, then in that case there would be many who would be deprived, or majority of the citizens would be deprived from the right to contest in the elections. So what is important is to understand the needs of the people and to have the desire to look after the welfare of the people. That is what is necessary. Because we have people who are greatly experienced, we have people who are have great knowledge, and they prove to be great politicians as such. Now coming to symbols and slogans. Now, every political party, we are aware that they have different symbols. The basic reason is why they every party adopts a symbol, because people who are, if they have a symbol, people who are illiterate, people who are not educated, they will be able to identify the candidate according to the symbol that has been adopted by that political party. So that is a simple reason that why symbols, every party will have, every political party will have a symbol for the benefit of the general public. Now, coming to slogans. During these elections, there are certain slogans that are adopted by certain parties. we take the example of Congress. In 1971 elections, Congress led, that time Mrs. Indira Gandhi was the leader. They adopted the slogan Garibi Hatao. That means that if this was a slogan that they had adopted, that if they come into power, they will try their level best to remove poverty from the country, to improve the economic condition of the people, particularly the weaker section. Then in 1977, Janata Party slogan became Save Democracy, because during the Congress rule earlier, there was emergency had been declared and a lot of restrictions on all the people. So they wanted to save democracy. That became their slogan. Then in West Bengal Assembly elections in 1977, their slogan that they adopted was land to the tiller. Tiller, that means the person who cultivates a crop. So we see that different symbols are adopted by different political parties and slogans are formed and adopted during their election campaign. And it is important to understand that the Election Commission is the one that handles this entire process of elections. That is, it conducts, controls, and supervises this election in the country.